Okay, everybody, welcome to the Futro Hidden Movie Gems podcast. I am your host, Ty Christensen, joined here by none other than the normal crew, except we have a guest today. Introducing Drew. Say hello to everybody, Drew.
Sorry, I wasn't unprepared for that one.
That's okay. Come better prepared next time, Drew, if you ever want to be on the podcast again.
Sounds good.
Oh my gosh.
How's it going, everyone? Thanks for having me.
Okay, you're done talking. Jordan.
Sweet.
I might be crazy.
Okay, Cameron.
Sup, nerds?
We are talking today about Martin Scorsese's Shutter Island.
Yum, 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 yum.
And starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Mark Ruffalo, Ben Kingsley, and a few other people that I don't care to know.
Whoa, what? Is Ben Kingsley, is he the guy that was in Zodiac?
No, that's Mark Ruffalo, I think you're referring to.
No.
No, he's talking about the Zodiac killer.
The Zodiac killer.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Fisher. What's his name?
Sam Fisher.
So there's plenty of great actors, so take it easy.
Yeah, I'm gonna just settle down.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I didn't like this movie the first time I watched it, and I didn't like it even more the second time.
What?
You make me sick, dude. You're disgusting.
Oh, goodness.
Did you know Cameron wasn't a fan of Leonardo DiCaprio until this film? Wasn't it this one, or was there one before that?
It was this one and Inception. I was like, holy fuck.
And Wolf of Wall Street. Oh, yeah, so many good ones.
And Catch Me If You Can.
Well, see, that's part of my gripe with this movie. I feel like this movie is one part all other movies that I like much more than this film. I'll be honest, Inception did it better. Leonardo DiCaprio brooding over a wife that died in a reality.
Oh, I just threw up a little bit. Oh, jeez.
Mainstream. What?
Mainstream.
Ooh.
Because it's mainstream. It's not because it's mainstream. I just really like the movie Inception much more. Ask anyone. I just bought a Tenet movie poster in anticipation of Christopher Nolan's next film, and I just believe that he has a better way of discussing philosophy and deeper meanings in movies than Martin Scorsese. But that sounds bad because Martin Scorsese does a much better job at character movies.
Yeah, you just don't like thinking at the end of the movies. I understand.
I want to reiterate, I did not like this movie the first time I watched it, and I'm seeing it for the second time, and I liked it even less.
Jeez,
Boo.
Shutter Island, more like Shizzer Island. Oh, snap.
Even more boo.
Yeah, even worse. Boo.
Boo, bad joke.
It was a bad joke. Potty humor, right? Shudder. I shuddered when I watched this movie.
Oh, brother.
That's all it got from me. It only got a shudder. Is this movie a horror movie? What is this movie?
It's a psychological thriller. Excuse me.
It says mystery and thriller. The mystery, lame. Thriller, not really thrilling.
Oh, brother.
You are sick.
Ty's the type of movie that is excited to talk about Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Oh, yeah. Much better film. Oh, yeah.
Fantastic. The director is the greatest director of all time, better than Martin Scorsese.
Dude, that movie gets me, man. Be most excellent to each other. Oh my gosh.
Oh, here we go. I can't even talk to you. All right, let's keep on.
Shutter Island came out in 2010, directed by Martin Scorsese. My man, Marty. I freaking love Martin Scorsese, but this movie just doesn't do any favors.
You can't say that and then say that about his film. I'm going to need you to be quiet.
You had to have enjoyed something from it, though. Because, even in Martin's maybe not his best films, I still enjoy parts of it.
I did enjoy parts of it, and I'll get to that. There's things that work for this film, but probably things that I just don't think do.
I'll defend this movie with my life.
It's starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Emily Mortimer, Mark Ruffalo, and of course my man Ben Kingsley. Oh man, it even has Max von Sydow, which plays the really cool. I wish there was more of him. And then John Lynch is the Zodiac actor you were thinking of, Jordan. He's good in this. Jordan, what was it like watching this movie for the first time, and what was it like rewatching it for this podcast?
Let's see. So first time, I actually think I didn't enjoy it as much as just, I don't remember why I didn't enjoy it. Because I thought it was going to be more of a horror movie, and it's not. And then it wasn't till the second time I had watched another one of Martin Scorsese's film, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this man is a master at the craft. And so I went back and rewatched it. There's so much more to enjoy about this film than simply just it being a film. I mean, everything from the cinematography, the acting, it's a beautiful, beautiful piece of art. For this viewing, for this podcast, I was really trying to focus on, is he crazy or not? Because I always end the film thinking he's crazy crazy. At the very beginning, I'm like, okay, I got to figure out all the clues that point to him being crazy. At the beginning of the film, you're on the ride with this guy. You're like, oh no, he's not crazy. All the people are the bad people. And then by the end, he's crazy. It happens to me every time. It gets me. I'm like, oh, I'm on board with this guy up until the very end.
Cameron, how about you?
First time I watched it, I was totally confused the entire time, but I was just loving it. There's a couple specific scenes where Martin messes with your brain. What the fuck? Did you see that?
I love that we're on first name basis for Martin Scorsese, one of the greatest film directors of all time. We're like, Marty, Martin, like our boy M, Big M.
Dog.
Like, we're all calling him nicknames. We have ownership to him at all.
No, but for real, the first time watching it, I remember rewinding the interrogation scene with the girl getting the glass of water. I was like, Jordan, that's a rewind that. I did not just see that correctly. There was a lot of moments like that I was questioning my own sanity. The first time watching it, I was totally 100% for Leo. He's not insane. And Jordan's like, he's insane. You know, looking for everything to defend him. And then second time watching it, revisiting it for the podcast, since I'd already seen it, I was trying to go in with a more objective perspective. Just trying to see, okay, based on what I'm seeing and what I'm watching, which way would I go? I initially gave it a 10 out of 10, and then after rewatching it, midway through, I'm not so sure if I'd give this a 10 out of 10. I was like 6 or 7 range. And then just the way it finished, oh, fuck yeah, this is a 10 out of 10. There was dialogue and just things that happened. This is so beautiful because literally you can defend either side no matter what you do. That's why I think Martin is just such a great director, because the dialogue is so ambiguous to where you can decide what you want to interpret. It was fantastic. Still a 10 out of 10, which I hold my 10 out of 10s near and dear to my heart.
That's okay. Maybe by the end of the podcast, I can correct your behavior, you know? Because all insane people, Cameron, just need some medication. You just need to take your pills.
Yeah, maybe I just related a little too much to Leonardo DiCaprio.
You're just a crazy person stuck in a non-crazy world.
I'm just living my own fantasy.
Drew.
I'd say it's actually pretty close to what Jordan and Cameron both said. Kind of a mix. I'm still quite a novice movie critic.
Got it, baby.
But when Cameron first showed me this, I was pretty impressed. I've always been a fan of Leonardo DiCaprio. I just really like him as an actor. Even when he was in the Romeo and Juliet movie, not gonna lie, I was a fan.
Which was trash. Absolute garbage. That movie needs to burn in a trash can.
Sorry, I had to watch it for class.
Yeah, it's me too.
I'm very new to watching movies that I'm not necessarily, I don't know what the word is, maybe comfortable with. This was something that I had never heard of before. I hadn't any info on it except for Cameron telling me that it's gonna blow my mind or whatever.
Yeah, it is.
It makes me question my own sanity. So I was like, okay, I guess we'll see what happens. And Cameron and Grant refused to tell me any information about the movie as we're going on. I asked him a question like, from the beginning, this part was that and all this kind of stuff. He's like, just watch the movie. Come on. Really yanking my chain. But I really liked it. I'm not going to lie. Just because it was unlike anything I've seen before, to be honest. Because I feel like Hollywood does recycle the same kind of films, at least the idea, the same plot is very shallow in a lot of newer movies. Going back over it for the podcast, I forgot some things because it's been 2 years. All of it is still fairly new to me, and I still question myself about, is Leonardo, is he crazy? I don't know. There's kind of a heavy presence to the movie. Nothing crazy like Joker or anything like that. There's a sense of mental side to it, and I thought it was kind of interesting. The main character's name is Teddy, which, I don't know, I just feel like it's a childish name, right? Friendly name, and just the idea of having the movie such a crazy movie for me, I don't know, that's something that came up to mind for me.
This is a mixed bag. What can I say, guys? I love Martin Scorsese.
I love him, but I hate this Martin Scorsese film.
I don't know what it is about this film. This film just fails to grip me. Now, I should say I did enjoy parts of it. I just feel like it takes parts of things that I do like. Like, I loved the trailer for this movie. Kudos to whoever shot this trailer because it made me want to see it. And then when I saw it, I was disappointed because the trailer's better than the movie. And in this case, it kind of is, but I think it might have been a case of mismarketing because I did think it would be more scary, and I was really excited because the trailer made it sound like there was going to be like this crazy twist. If you guys haven't seen this, we should probably do a quick plot recap. Jordan, do you have the plot recap for us?
In 1954, a U.S. Marshal investigates the disappearance of a murderer who escaped from a hospital for the criminally insane.
Cue Gospel Library. Jordan turns on his reading voice. Gets me every time, man. It goes down like 9 octaves as he's saying it. I mean, up 9 octaves.
Makes it interesting, though.
It's beautiful.
It's very pensive, this movie. I feel like it has the things and the hallmarks and the makings of a really good film somewhere hidden deep.
Somewhere hidden? Hidden for anyone that has an IQ of 10.
I mean, okay. So let's start with two of your favorite things from this film. Cameron, you start us off. You wanted to do this movie so bad. You love this movie. Let's hear it.
Okay, first thing is definitely dialogue. I really like how you kind of just question a lot. They don't. I enjoy how little they explain. I just love how kind of I'm in the dark most of the film, where I'm like, wait, what the freak? Was that a dream? The entire time questioning, is this reality or not? He's waking up from dreams. Is he still in another dream? And so that's why it's like taking parts from Inception. Man, I don't even want to hear that. I'm pretty sure, when did Inception even come out, dude? I'm pretty sure Inception came out like right after or right before this.
Both of them came out in 2010. This one came out in February, and Inception came out in July. But keep in mind, these movies were written, I don't know, years before. I think. Do you think a movie like Inception can get done in like 4 months, Cameron? Like, they probably both were finished by the time they both were released. I'm not suggesting that one stole it from the other. I'm just suggesting that some other movies do the things that I like more. I would rather watch Inception again than watch this movie.
You mean Inception copied Shutter Island? Anyway, like I was saying, I love the dialogue and cinematography, lack of filling you in. I felt like that detective. I'm trying to piece stuff together, and I just was really uneasy about a lot of stuff. The first time I watched it with Jordan, don't take that medicine. I don't trust anybody. Oh, sorry, your clothes aren't dry. Put on those clothes. Don't put them on, man. Don't trust anybody. I'm like, you're living in the famous time. You can't be putting on those cycle clothes. The moment they got you in those, game over. But yeah, I love overall just chaos.
Jordan.
The two things I want to mention first is the acting. I just didn't even realize how amazing Ben Kingsley was in this film. I love his sympathy. You can tell he just looks tired because he's just been working nonstop to keep these crazy people in line and happy, and to a certain extent, because he does treat them what you think is humanely. You don't know because they don't show everything, and a lot of it's from what you hear from the different psychopaths. And so that's the best part, is all the narrators and all the people talking are all unreliable, which gets into the second part. Is I noticed all the little things that slowly turn itself upside down.
Keyword slowly turns.
Oh, here we go. Oh my gosh. Well, Ty,
what a snooze fest.
It's my turn. All right, don't cut me off.
Yeah.
You had your time, okay?
Just because you're a host doesn't mean you can speak whenever you want.
Yeah, we'll let you speak in a minute. I just love that first you're totally on board with this guy, you're following him, so usually you root for the guy that the story is following for the majority of the time, unless he's just pure evil, but even then, you got anti-heroes. Anyways, at what point am I no longer on board? And the director is so good at subtly putting little things in to make you feel crazy, and also, you're like, oh crap, I'm stuck in this place and I'm never getting out.
Oh, the ferry's canceled. Get me out of here. Oh, sorry, the phones are down. When they're up, we'll let you know.
They do leave it a little open-ended. They leave it up for discussion. And at first, I think, Cameron, you might remember, I freaking hated that. I was like, no, that's not how movies should end. I disagree, actually.
Drew hated it the initial time.
But I like the discussion. You get to talk about it after. Well, that makes sense for him to be insane, makes sense for him to not. And it leaves it up for you to decide in a way.
Maybe that's why Ty didn't like it, because he watched it alone and he had to sit with his thoughts.
Yeah, and it requires you an IQ over 10 to think about it.
Oh, sorry, Drew. It's your turn.
No.
We'll let you go.
All good. I just kind of liked the idea of having the chance to discuss each of our opinions about what happened in the end. There's this one scene that I can't seem to forget. It's just kind of stuck in my mind. Is I really like some of the cinematography on it, like up against the cliffs when Leonardo DiCaprio saw she was in white or something like that. There are scenes that I feel like just stick to you a little bit more than others.
He is a master at the craft. Watching it the second time, I was just looking at just the cinematography. I love his quick pans. I noticed when somebody's talking, he positions the camera in such a way when he makes a cut, your eyes never move from that spot. He puts the next person that's talking in the same exact spot. That way he can sneak in lots of little hidden things throughout the film because your eyes are just on one person when there's other things going around the people. He's so good. He is a master at show don't tell. I love there's a moment when he asks, we can't leave, or something about the ferry, and all of a sudden the camera pans at the window and you see the storm. They never say storm, you just see it. I love stuff like that.
Maybe I'll have to rewatch it and keep that in mind. Or I'll have to watch it again.
You can rewatch it for me.
All right, Ty, this is the hardest part of the podcast for you.
Yeah. I actually love discussion around this movie more than I like the movie itself. You guys have brought up ambiguity as it's a good thing. Now, I like ambiguity when it sparks a conversation that I think is interesting, not just, well, if you pause the movie at 37 minutes, you'll see a lady drinking some water, then she reaches for a glass of water and there's no cup in her hand. But then in the next shot, there's a cup in her hand. Like, okay, maybe it's just a continuity error. No, Martin Scorsese intentionally made that mistake so you wouldn't know if he was crazy or not. It's like...
It happens multiple times, Ty.
Multiple times.
Oh, yes. And there's scenes where cigarette smoke is literally pouring back into a cigarette. I know about all these things. And I'm like, okay, so there's all these things that are shot to make you feel like there's, it's a question. Okay, so let me explain to you guys why I don't think any of this matters. The very opening shot is a ship coming out of fog. This literally means this whole movie, it's a metaphor. It's obscured to part of your vision. It's unclear exactly what you're going to get. I just feel like this is like a movie that a college student would make.
Oh, you did not just say that.
Oh, get it? Like, it's ambiguous because it's ambiguous. Martin Scorsese, I feel like this is his first movie that he should have ever done. And this would be the movie that he gets to make movies like, incredible movies like Raging Bull. And, I mean, freak. I would watch Hugo again before I watch this movie. I'm sorry. I just, oh, man. I don't know. You guys need to convince me.
Is this the two things you like? I'm confused what's going on right now.
Yeah, I'm confused. All you're doing is just absolutely shizzing on the movie. I thought it was the two things you like.
Yeah, tell us the two things you like, and then we'll get to nitpicking section, all right?
No, I know. I am trying to say positive things about this. I'm
Haven't
just
heard
saying.
one
I haven't heard anything yet. All I've heard
Well, it was
is...
fresh off my mind. I wanted to say that you guys were wrong, and then you guys can defend your viewpoint.
All I've heard is wah, wah, wah.
Wah. Dude, I love... Oh, man.
Anyways, two things.
Okay, my second thing. Yes, there's lots of little things that I would argue were fun to catch this time on the second time around because I already know the ending. So it's like, oh, let me look for evidences that prove which way I want to believe, So it's like, hey, look at this. He has a head injury. All these little things are just like, oh, and he's missing details, And then I heard video essays on like every time there's fire around, it means there's clarity. And every time there's water, it means there's uncertainty. I'm leading into, I like all the small details. Marty probably took a lot more time than I give him credit for. Let me get into the two things that I don't like about this movie, okay? Let me segue right into that.
Wait, did you even say two things? I didn't hear two things. I just heard one.
Yeah, it's the little details, and it's the ship coming out of the fog.
The ship is one of your favorite things.
Every opening shot of a movie states something, especially for Martin Scorsese. Objects in fog are hard to make out, right? They're hard to see. You can't tell exactly what it is that you're getting, and that's what this movie is. It's just a big nothing burger with a mystery at the end. Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? Is he crazy? Is he not crazy? It's like, who cares? Because he gets lobotomized in the end. Spoiler alert. This movie has a very fun conversation around it, but it is not fun to watch on multiple viewings. I would not watch this movie again anytime soon. With any luck, never again. Does that make sense? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Does anyone understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, we hear you. Okay, now can we talk about the ending?
No. First, I have to hear two things that you dislike from the movie.
Dislike? There's nothing wrong with this film. It's perfect. All right, let's go to the ending. I want to talk about the ending.
The last thing that I don't like about this movie is that this movie is one part Stonehurst Asylum. By the way, a movie that came out 4 years later. Kate Beckinsale and everyone else. Ben Kingsley again, and Michael Caine. And they're like, hey, you know that movie, Shutter Island? We can make a better Crazy Asylum movie. And so they did. It's literally about a movie where they go to the island and everyone's acting super weird. All the doctors, you can't really trust them. It turns out that all the insane people took all the doctors and imprisoned them and are treating them as the crazy ones. And all the crazy people are the doctors. Much better twist. Much more fun to watch. Just saying.
Wait, you mean that they copied and they came after?
Yeah, but they made a more entertaining film. And they didn't copy because in the end, it's just one patient. It's Leonardo DiCaprio's journey. It's just a much better film. It reminds me of 1408. It's like one part Inception, it's one part One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and one part of The Cure for Wellness. It's like all these movies, and I get it. Some of them came before, some of them came after, but all these other movies keep coming as a result because this one wasn't as successful at driving it home, I feel like. Anyway, I'm sorry. Martin Scorsese, if you're listening to this podcast.
No, he doesn't.
I love you. I love all your character films. You deserve all the Academy Awards and Oscars and nominations you've ever received, but this movie, boo.
Well, wouldn't it be an inspiration then? Like for some of the later movies? Do you think that kind of inspired the opportunity for a better movie?
I don't know. What other horror noir mystery films?
That's great. Let's talk about the ending. All right.
Okay. So Jordan, tell me what it is about the ending you like to talk about. Let me do my best Leonardo DiCaprio. Is it better for a man to die as a hero or to live as a villain? That's my best. Teddy.
That's pretty good, Ty. I liked it.
That's pretty good. I want to hear Cameron's theories about it because I love kind of breaking it down and figuring out whether or not it was all in his head or not.
Wait. So is the movie that it's all just in his head and he's not crazy, right?
Oh, sorry. That's not what I meant. That he's an actual patient or not at this asylum.
That leads me into one of my possible theories, which possibly could be in his head. Is just you see like that random body wash up. They make you think that's Mark Ruffalo, and you're like, what the freak? And then he randomly meets some girl that is never ever mentioned the rest of the film, where in that fire. The scene that kind of made me, I'm like, is this real or not? Was the scene where the piece of paper, what's his name, Patient 67's invoice, or when he entered into the asylum, it perfectly came up right next to him. That's so fake and so weird. It started to make me question, is this actually reality? There's no chance that it would just land right next to him, perfectly showing, oh, Patient 67, you know? So that's when I started questioning, maybe he's actually not conscious right now. There's also a scene when they force him to remember, when he goes back and he's talking to him, you murdered your wife. Right when he's leaving his lake house to go see his wife outside, who had just murdered their children. I'm telling you, the first time I watched it, the second time I tried to pay more attention, but I still couldn't really make out what they were saying. But you hear a sound. At first I thought it was TV, but the more I hear it, I think it's the sound of doctors paging Dr. So-and-so, the sound of what you would hear in a surgery room. So then that made me think that they're actually working on his brain at the moment, and they're trying to implant these memories, because I don't know if you noticed at the end, they tell him, okay, you relapsed last time. So it might have not been the first time that they tried this. Just accept these new memories, and his brain's possibly rejecting these memories, and so they're trying to do the surgery over and over until his brain accepts it.
So are they implanting the positive memory or the true memories? Is that what you're saying? I'm still confused.
No, because he's actually a cop. The government found out about him wanting to be on it, so they just kept him there. Have you ever worked with this dude before? No, I haven't. So they're trying to force him to think that he is insane. And if they can do that, we can move on with this. That's just at least one of my opinions.
So you believe that he is a cop and they convinced him that he's insane and kept him there?
Obviously, a high probability is that he's actually insane.
Which one do you think, though? Because that's the whole point of this movie, the ending. What do you...
In my opinion, with what Martin does to you, I genuinely don't think he's insane. And me and Jordan went back and forth about this. Dude, he's not fetching insane. And maybe that's just because I'm crazy and I'm trying to defend him, but I feel he's not insane. And everything was just kind of set up too perfectly to where it was messing with his head.
It's true. That's the thing. It is too perfect. That's why I ultimately think he is crazy. Every time the ending gets me, oh yeah, Ben Kingsley sold me. If I was Leonardo DiCaprio, I would have thought I was crazy in his situation, because everything he said was everything about him. He knew him almost too well. Ben Kingsley is either a super genius, if he's been doing it for years, lobotomizing people and breaking people down and psychologically messing with their heads by telling them little things, switching their clothes, putting things in the cigarettes, putting it in the water, slowly breaking them down, having people tell him things, and then messing with his dreams to the point where he essentially becomes a patient there. It was that line that Ty said, I'd rather be this detective because it's easier to live that way than to live as a monster, to live this lie. Or he could be referring to Ben Kingsley and all the people there.
That's my question. Would it be worse to live as a monster? So living as the falsehood? See, this is where I think the movie gets confused, because I think it could have been more clear on one aspect than the other, because I don't know if Leonardo DiCaprio thinks, when he's saying that, if he actually believes he's a detective, right? Because you have that moment where Mark Ruffalo, he thinks that Teddy said that because he knows the truth, that he either is or isn't a patient there. Teddy knows if it's real or not, and whether or not he is sane or not. And Mark Ruffalo is like, oh, wait a second. Right before he is taken off to get lobotomized. Again, I am so confused. Is he dying a hero? Why is he dying as a hero? Why? I don't get this movie.
You know what's really crazy is that you recommended Pet Sematary saying it was a good movie. And I don't know, Ty. Your taste is very confusing.
To my credit, I watched it on an airplane. Movies on airplanes are just much better in general. There's something about sucking on oxygen for 2 hours and watching a movie while you're trapped thousands of feet in the air. Pet Sematary was much better than this movie. I'm sorry. Drew, what do you think?
Yeah, I say we put it to a vote, too, after Drew does his explanation.
I feel that I switch every time there's a discussion about it, to be honest. I have not been able to be like tied down to one answer. Because the first time, I'm totally for Leonardo DiCaprio. He's normal. He's not crazy. But then I was thinking about it. I just don't understand the reasoning behind bringing him to the island to make him crazy. Or whatever different explanations there are for either side. So I don't know if I can make a choice, because I feel like I go back and forth too much.
They brought him to the island because he was exploiting them, because the government found out and they were covering it up.
Exactly.
Everything's a government conspiracy.
He knew too much is why they kept him there.
That's why you never express your ideas on the internet. Otherwise, fetching government will hunt you down. They'll make you insane. And then if you say that you're not insane, it makes you even more insane. It's all a scam, dude. That's why I always wear these protective goggles to keep me away from the ray. I feel like Psycho Sam from Hunt for the Wilder People.
You got to get a tinfoil hat, then.
The government's tracking us.
The form fillers are coming for you, Cameron.
The form fillers are coming.
We want to put it to a vote. Who thinks that Leonardo DiCaprio is crazy?
Oh, I think so.
Me. Your host, Ty Christensen, thinks that Leonardo DiCaprio is crazy and out of his freaking mind. Yep, this guy is crazy. And you know how I know? Because the opening shot tells you everything you need to know when the ship comes out of the fog.
Stop going with this opening shot stuff. Like, the opening shot has the answer to all your questions.
And then secondly, you see Leonardo DiCaprio has a nice little bandage on his head. You know what I'm thinking? This guy had a concussion. This whole movie took place in his freaking head, dude. None of this happened. None of this matters. This discussion and podcast doesn't mean anything.
But when does all this crazy stuff start to happen? After he takes the medicine. Cheap.
How about all the weird patients looking at him?
It's an insane asylum. What do you think the people are going to be like? Oh, hi. Of course the people are going to be like...
That's my other gripe with this movie. I don't like people in Hollywood pretending to be crazy. To me, it's always cringeworthy. I don't know why. I didn't like even One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, even though I sort of did like it.
That makes no sense, but okay.
Let me tell you, one of my least favorite movies of all times.
Oh, jeez.
12 Monkeys. Yeah, watching Brad Pitt pretending to be crazy was so cringeworthy. And I love Brad Pitt, and I... Leonardo DiCaprio did a good job because, again, he wasn't acting crazy, but it was all the other people in the insane asylum.
Because he wasn't crazy?
Yeah. When sane people pretend to be crazy, it's my cringe bone.
Unless it's Jake Gyllenhaal, because Jake Gyllenhaal's actually insane. So it's okay, he pulls it off.
Well, which movie did he play crazy?
Nightcrawler? Are you kidding
Oh, that was
me?
a
You're
great movie.
disgusting. Call yourself a Jake Gyllenhaal fan?
Well, no. He wasn't criminally insane. He was egoistical and narcissistic.
What does that equal? Crazy.
No, but he was a sociopath. I mean, he totally looked normal on the surface.
So what would you describe, if you saw a sociopath and you met a sociopath, what would you call him?
A sociopath literally is somebody that's not right in the head, but they appear to be normal. So you could literally talk to him in the street and he'd be as pleasant and as friendly. But that's what makes it chilling when he shows his true self. When his famous quote from the line, "A friend is something you give yourself." How narcissistic is that?
So crazy.
It's so dark and so beautiful. That's why that movie's so good, but he doesn't act crazy except that one moment where he's alone and he has that outburst. That's a great scene because it's contaged. It's not this long drawn out, hey, you're in an insane asylum. Woo-hoo, let's run around in our underwear. Ooh, there's a mystery here. I'm sorry. I don't mean to
What the
bash
fuck?
on
You're just totally disrespecting this film, dude. You just
I really am.
I'm gonna put him in an insane asylum time. We'll see how you react after being there for a week. Then we'll see who's fetching crazy, and you'll be like, Leo, I understand.
Put it to a vote. Who thinks that Leonardo DiCaprio is not crazy?
Me.
Oh,
Cameron
2
and
versus
Drew.
2.
Well, you guys are wrong.
What the
Well, I
fuck?
hate to tell you guys
We're
are wrong. There's too many
wrong.
evidences that this isn't happening. How do you explain all the visions? How do you explain everything that's happening to him?
It's called freaking narcotics, dude. The stuff that they were giving to, he literally talked about it. He's like, oh yeah, the drugs that we give to him. I'm a believer in both. What do you believe in, doctor? I believe if you treat people with respect, they'll appreciate it. Yeah, after you give them drugs and you mess with their head, dude, so they're a little bit more docile.
Cameron, you need to treat people with respect.
Respect! Who are you again? Oh my gosh. I just really enjoyed watching it because I don't know, I love movies with crazy people. Maybe that's because I am crazy.
I gotta say, I love Ben Kingsley's performance, but the ending, the Matrix Reloaded ending.
How are we get to a Matrix, bro?
Let me tell you everything. Here's the whole mystery. I'm literally in the green room where they're writing the story, like in the storyboard room with Martin Scorsese and the script writers and look at all the letters. If you turn them, they're the exact same letters as this name. Oh, I almost expected Tom Marvolo Riddle to be like, I am Voldemort. Literally.
Dude, see, that's like such irrelevant facts that they were trying to convince him. Look at, dude, these letters match up. That means nothing to me. I'm not fetching insane. No, but the names match. Cool. I didn't fetching do it. And then he shoots him, and then there's blood on the wall, and then there's no longer blood. Explain that, Ty.
Yeah, because he's crazy. Wait, how do you not think he's crazy then?
Because of fetching drugs they've been giving him, bro. Oh my gosh. You're one of those people that would get abducted by the government. You're in the signal, Ty. You would believe that you're actually on a real planet. I would know that the aliens abducted me.
Oh, spoiler.
Spoiler
Whoa.
Guess I don't need to see that movie.
Oh, we're doing that one. I love that movie.
There's so many evidences that point to Teddy is not there. He's so distracted and forgetful.
What are these evidences, Ty?
Yeah, Ty. And then, wait, when did all this happen? After he was given medicine, after he was drinking, after he was in crazy people clothes.
No, I specifically wrote it down. I just put, he seems distracted and forgetful. There's a scene where he's talking to the guards when he's getting his orientation and he's meeting Ben Kingsley and all the other people that work there. Maybe it's just the opening stages, but it reminds me of the Pink Panther. I was watching Peter Sellers walk around. So you are the gardener. No, I'm the cook. He's like, so a cook who thinks he's the gardener. Like, it's so stupid.
I don't know if I would compare those two, but interesting.
It's literally the Pink Panther. Oh, man. Chief Inspector Jacques Laser.
Shutter Island is literally the Pink Panther with Leonardo DiCaprio. You heard it here.
Dude, he'd be a great Pink Panther.
I'm gonna just stop speaking.
They'd have to remake the remakes because Steve Martin ruined Pink Panther. He didn't understand the subtle nuances of Peter Sellers' performance. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, so real quick, what does this movie mean, Cameron? What does it all mean? We're tied. It's 2-2. Was he crazy? Was he not? Why does it matter?
It means you can't trust the government, dude. It means you can't attack powerful entities, otherwise they'll freaking brainwash you until you're like, I think I am crazy. And then they're like, okay, at least he's out of the way. Because, dude, that's how I'm fetching telling you that one dude who's you're a rat in a game that you don't even know you're playing the game. And he's like, wait, what? And then that dialogue, that's why I'm saying Martin Scorsese did such a good job, because that dialogue in that exchange of facts, no matter what your side is, you can defend your side with what that conversation talks about. He said, who put you in here? I'm in here because of you. Who gave you those scars? You gave them to me. If you think he's crazy, oh, he beat him up and then they got in a fight, and so that's the reason they're both in Ward 3. Or you could do that because he got out, and then because he talked to him and used him as like, we're coming after you, government, then that's why they brought him back. And that's what the dude pleaded for, the electric chair over going back. You don't plead for death over going back to a fetch insane asylum if they're doing everything perfect. I'm telling you, man. It's all a Ponzi, not a Ponzi scheme. It's all a conspiracy theory. It's all a Ponzi scheme. He's just trying to make money.
I like Jackie Earl Haley's part, George Noyce, for the guy that he spoke to.
The
He's
Nazi?
like, yeah, you're a rat in a cage. I like that whole monologue. That was much more appealing to me than the ending reveal with Ben Kingsley. And I love Ben Kingsley, but it's just, you're crazy, Teddy. Believe me.
Dude, okay, just listen. The part where the dude starts choking him, he starts to beat the crap out of the dude. I love how the guys come up to him. This is why I think that he's not insane, because they treat him like a psychopath. Take a walk. A psychopath just tried to kill him until he defended himself. How could you treat him like that? The freaking dude was defending for his life.
I actually thought, Cameron, they all know all the patients and the inmates there. Maybe that's the first time that Teddy ever acted out and acted violent toward another patient, right? That's what I thought it was.
No, because if he was crazy, he would have already acted out and put that dude with the scars on his face. Cheap.
How do you know? You don't know that.
Makes sense. Because he said, who gave you those scars? And he said, you gave them to me. How could he give them to him without being a violent patient? Fudge, it's all coming
Wait, so you think he is a violent patient? That's what I'm saying, Cameron. I think he is a patient.
I'm saying your theory doesn't make sense based on what you just said, because you said that if he was crazy, then you're not a violent patient. You normally don't act out like this. Oh, yeah, defend that. Tip.
Well,
he's innocent.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, but it doesn't explain the fact that if he did give the scars, he must have been there longer than the time that he was there. So you have another person that literally is like, you gave these to me, and you've been here longer than you think you have.
Or he was saying, I'm in here because of you.
And the guard's reaction, it was just standard. Wow, you almost killed another inmate, you know?
Weak response. He's innocent.
Oh, I should have prepared a thesis. We'll write 7-page reports.
Yeah,
I expect them in tomorrow morning, first thing.
I'm considering switching to Cameron's side, Ty. Your thesis is pretty weak, man.
Yeah,
Dude, I don't care, because guess what? It doesn't matter if he's crazy or not. He gets lobotomized at the end. Dun, dun, dun.
Jordan, don't listen to Ty.
It's over.
He works for the government. He sells health control or health insurance. He's just trying to brainwash you. Jordan works for the government too. Oh, fudge! I'm surrounded by you guys.
You all could be the thing, but all of you aren't, because you would have rushed me by now. So I think some of you are okay. Oh man, I'd rather be talking about the thing again.
Oh, brother.
Let's finish off with, would you guys recommend this movie? Cameron.
Absolutely. I would recommend it to anyone that can deal with a thriller.
Psychological thriller.
Yeah, because there's not a lot of thrills and chills. It's all psychological.
I would recommend it to anyone with an IQ of 11 or above. If you have below that, you might hate it. I'm just kidding, Ty. I love you.
Drew.
I would. I like this movie. I'm a fan.
Enough said. Jordan.
I personally like Cape Fear of Martin Scorsese's thrillers. I like Cape Fear better, but I do like this one a lot. I just think Cape Fear is a better rewatchable. Much more disturbing than this movie, but this one is maybe more tame for people that prefer a more, which isn't saying a lot because it's still pretty crazy. I don't know. I'd recommend it.
Ty, the one thing I will kind of give you that I thought was a little unnecessary out of the film is I don't know how important the whole World War II tie-in was. Those kind of memories. Somewhat necessary to show that he was a violent person. That's kind of where he feels he lost his humanity or something. I don't know if that's necessary. You could have just told us about that or just shown that one scene instead of the Nazi bleeding out on the floor. Why is that an important scene that we're focusing like for 5 or 10 minutes minutes. Nice, he's a Nazi bleeding out who tried to kill himself. How is this relevant?
Because he's crazy, Cameron. That's why you spent 5 minutes of a movie on an unimportant subject matter, because it's unimportant, because he's crazy and he gets fixated on things that don't matter.
Because of the drugs that they had given him.
You notice Martin Scorsese does that a lot with his films. He focuses on men of violence. I just think it's fascinating, very interesting.
See, and there's many better films by Martin
Here we
Scorsese
go.
that have men of violence. Number one, Raging Bull. Watch that movie and tell me that is not a masterpiece. Now that is a movie. Jeez, guys, last gripe. You're right, Cameron. The World War II stuff I didn't care for. I also didn't care for his wife. I'm sorry. The wife drowning the kids and then he shoots her in the stomach is bleh. Like, I don't care.
Are you serious? I cried at that part. I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
The fact that he shot his wife is the greatest thing you've ever seen. Do you hear yourself?
No, when I'm talking about Leo when he's holding his kids and screaming, like that was the most amazing scene. Oh, I got so emotional.
It's okay. Ty just has no emotional attachment to his family.
I mean, yes, it's emotional.
Ty, I don't even want to put that in your brain. I'm just saying, like, think of it being in that position. But imagine how insane that would be.
Imagine your wife drowns your baby. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, imagine you just come back and they just freaking drown the babies. Are you going to be like, I have no emotional attachment. Everything's fine. Of course he's going to fetch and be like the saddest thing ever.
Oh my gosh, you guys are completely misunderstanding me. You guys...
Would you shoot Maddie, Ty? Tell us.
Yeah, if he did it, would you kill her? I'd kill my wife, easy.
Would you shoot her?
You guys are acting like I think it's not well acted. It's very well acted. It's very believable. I'm just saying I don't care. We never see his relationship with his wife. We never see it on a positive light. We keep seeing her appear. You know what movie did it better? Inception. If you just waited 6 months after this dumb movie came out, you could have seen Inception and seen a much better relationship between Leonardo DiCaprio with another wife figure who literally kills herself, with much better and clearer motives that have to do with the plot line. I like Maul. The idea was planted in her head that she was in a dream, and so she woke up with that idea that she was still living in a dream, and so she ended up killing herself. It's more cohesive to the story. The fact that Leonardo DiCaprio sees his wife killing his children and then kills her, it just reiterates the fact that he went insane. The whole reason he's in that insane asylum because he killed his family.
He didn't kill his family.
Unless he made that up too. See, I don't know.
That's the point of the film.
Who murdered his children?
He killed his wife. He shot his wife in the stomach.
Okay, no, yeah, but and you don't even know if he killed his wife. That's what they're trying to convince him, dude. Oh, fetch, I don't even know what's real and what's not.
Wait, so you don't think the whole wife story was real?
I don't even know if it is. Oh, fetch.
That's the best part about the whole movie, Ty.
That's what they're trying to implant that memory in. They're trying to implant that memory in him, Ty, making you think that he killed his children.
Well, they don't even lobotomize to the very end. I don't know why you keep saying implant that memory.
He said I never even had children.
Oh, I know. And then he keeps saying my neighbor, and the house burned down. He keeps changing his story. That's my point. This guy, he is a chronic liar. He's crazy, dude. Leonardo DiCaprio, I know you love your boy so much. Oh, he's a great actor. You guys think he's not crazy because he's a good actor. He's called being crazy. He's a sociopath. You guys fell for it. You guys fell for his big blue eyes and gorgeous blonde hair. Hook, line, and stinker.
You said that the girl, her motives were more understandable. That's the point of this movie, is to not make sense. She's a psychopath. The director did his job. He did what he was trying to do. So
that's what I'm telling you, man. It's a government conspiracy.
So Leonardo DiCaprio was an innocent man married to a psychopath? Is everyone a psychopath? Everyone seems to be crazy in this movie, except me. That's what I can't stand about these movies. It's like, oh, who's crazy? What does it mean to be crazy? Are you crazy? At times I feel crazy.
You're crazy and you don't want to admit it,
crazy? Am I hearing voices in my head? Am I imagining this? It's like, maybe I'm tired. Maybe I had too much caffeine. It's just so stupid. I am crazy. This movie drives me crazy. Lock me up, because I've seen this movie twice in my life now. I've actually seen it, I think, 3 times. Holy cow.
Me too.
3 times too many. Oh, snap.
Debbie Downer.
Ew, I'm sorry. Do I recommend this movie? Let me let my listeners.
My listeners?
Let our listeners. Take a guess. Take a wild guess in the dark. A shot in the dark if they think I would recommend this movie. Yeah, that's going to be a no. I do not recommend this movie. No, I don't.
Never would have guessed. Anyway, continue.
Our discussion was much more entertaining than this film was. Anyone have any last minute items they'd like to say about this movie?
I think that's the beauty of the movie, is you can have such an opinion. It makes for a good discussion. That's why we get so emotionally attached to this movie, is because we start piecing our own puzzles together, because the lines are so blurred, that it makes it for us, we make that decision instead of the director.
Martin Scorsese sitting in an easy chair somewhere and he's like They made a successful movie that literally enraged someone and caused deeper thought. Like, I know, Good movies elicit a powerful response, but my frustration does not come from this being a good movie. Oh my gosh.
I just fetching the way you portrayed Martin Scorsese is probably the best thing I've ever seen in my fetching life, dude.
Those impressive Jewish eyebrows of his, man. Oh gosh.
Not as good as the eyebrows and the guy from The Thing. That I forgot to shout out to that guy's eyebrows. Whoa. Oh man. Those were some eyebrows.
I'm glad that we've gotten to that point where we're shouting out people's eyebrows. Oh my gosh. And we're giving eyebrows religious tags. Jewish eyebrows. As if they're not just regular eyebrows, they're Jewish eyebrows.
Whoa, Cameron, take it easy. You're sounding wildly anti-Semitic right now, man.
What? I'm not even gonna lie, I don't even know what that fetching means.
All right. On that note, let's play some movie games. I kept calling them phone games on last podcast, so I'm really sorry, listeners. You're probably really confused. So our first game, Drew, we are playing, it is called Build a Perfect Movie. Using 2 movies and their critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, you're going to try to make 100%. Basically, like 21, you don't want to go over or you bust.
And you can't look up anything, Drew. Trust me, I've already tried.
We're going to start with Jordan. Choose a thriller.
How about let's do Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. It's not a thriller.
It's not really a thriller, but...
I just want to know the Rotten Tomatoes so I can bash it.
It's 54%.
Oh my gosh, I love you guys.
Oh, you're going to just tell me right away? I thought you were going to...
Well, I thought that wasn't your movie.
Huh? No, that was my movie.
Well, okay, wait. You said Bogus Journey. That's the sequel.
Yep.
If you'd like to know the original, the first one, which is the movie I want to watch and review, it's 80%. So, whoa, I just want to laugh at it. I want to insult it.
How much is Shutter Island? Okay, I need to know.
Yeah. I watched this. Shutter Island. This ought to be great.
It's gonna be bad.
68%. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure got better Rotten Tomatoes score than Shutter Island.
68, though. That's still really high.
You know why? It's because the government doesn't want it to be a good rating type.
I'm literally looking at the picture of the movie. It shows Leonardo DiCaprio with a head bandage, literally signifying that this whole movie takes place inside his head with a concussion.
Yeah, the government knows it. It shines too much light.
Because they're implanting memories. I'm right there with you, Ty.
As an avid Office fan, this whole movie took place inside of Dwight's mind when he got a concussion to go rescue Michael from his grilled foot. This all took place in Dwight's mind, dude. This is how Dwight sees himself as Leonardo DiCaprio, an awesome cop detective that thinks everyone makes him out to be crazy, but he's not.
Okay, let's be... All right, so I'll do a thriller. Videodrome. There you go.
So we're just seeing if he busts right now? What the heck? Are me and Drew not even involved in this? What's going on?
No, we're not going to bust. This is his first movie.
Bogus Journey is a comedy. I'll do a thriller. All right, Cameron, go.
Oh.
That's right, you will.
Wait Until Dark.
No, we're going high, apparently.
I don't think that would be too high. I feel like that's going to be like 50-60 range.
Are you kidding me, Cameron? Those old thrillers? Those are all like 100%. You're screwed.
Oh, fetch, dude.
Drew, what about your movie?
I never saw it, but I thought a pretty trash movie that I heard about was The Cabin in the Woods. Is that pretty garbage? The ending? Thought the ending was bad or something.
That actually did really well, so you're in trouble.
So I gotta think of a really terrible movie now?
Yeah, you'll want to pick a really crappy horror movie after this, but...
Because Clinton did Cabin in the Woods last 2 podcasts ago.
He did?
That's okay. This will be a joy. All right, so here we go. Jordan, you did Videodrome. 80% on Rotten Tomatoes. 80%.
Oh.
That'll be easy to find a bad one, though.
Good luck, Chip.
Cameron, you did Wait Until Dark. 95%.
I knew it. You're so toast.
Oh, shoot.
I knew it was a good film. I didn't know they were going to rate it that good. Oh, dang it.
Drew, you did Cabin in the Woods. 92%.
Holy sweet mercy.
Better than 95.
Good luck, fellas. Jordan.
Oh, crap.
It comes at night, Jordan.
No, nice try.
Does Jordan not like that movie?
No.
I love that movie. That's a good movie.
That's an ambiguous movie that's much more entertaining to talk about and speculate than this one.
Cube Zero. I think that one got trashed on.
Jordan.
Cameron.
Dude, okay. I think I'm gonna go with a Leprechaun. I'm trying to fetch a note. I'm trying to think of which one though, because last time I went and it was a 0.
There's like 7. They got
Yeah, I know.
Leprechaun in the Hood, Leprechaun in the Hood 2. They got Leprechaun in Space. They got
I'm gonna go with number 4. Lucky number 4. Come on.
Like 4-leaf clover.
Wait. Actually, I don't know. I might be going with 3. Okay, yeah, I'll go with 4. 4, my lord.
4. That's Leprechaun in Space.
Yeah. Sounds horrible.
I'm not kidding. It's literally Leprechaun in Space.
It's just got to be fetching less than 5.
The poster says 1 small step for man, 1 giant leap of terror.
Oh, gosh.
I thought it would be more clever than that.
Yeah, no, there's nothing clever about this movie. Okay,
I like the Leprechaun movies.
Drew,
Oh man.
you want to think of something really crappy.
Yeah, very, very crappy.
Think of like a trashy horror film.
Like, so bad, it hurts to think about.
But not so bad that it's good, because then critics give it a better rating.
Like Justice League.
That's not a horror movie though.
Like a movie that you watch, you're like, I just watched that and I can never get those 3 hours back in my life.
Yeah.
Like Justice League.
One that you've suppressed from your mind.
You want to know a horrible movie is Space Chimps. Just FYI.
That sounds horrifying. We're gonna call that as a thriller.
Oh, fetch away, it's a thriller.
Oh, it's definitely not.
Oh, do you mean Space Chimps 1 or Space Chimps 2? There's a sequel.
They made a second. Well, the sequel's usually really bad, yeah, so I'll go with the second one.
Dude, always go with the sequels. Yeah, sequels are always worse. Especially some shiz like that. Space Chimps too. Is there a special title for it, Ty? There's got to be a special title
Yeah,
for it.
it's called, the tag is Zartog Strikes Back.
Yeah, Zartog, baby.
Okay, Jordan, you did Hypercube 2, so your first chip
No.
pick.
I said Cube Zero.
Oh, sorry, I said Cube 2. Cube 0.
Yeah, take it easy, okay?
Sorry,
Whoa.
I looked up Cube 0.
He's gonna bust. It doesn't matter
Your
either
first
way.
pick, Videodrome, 80%. Cube 0, 42% from audiences. It didn't have any critic score, so you could take the audience score.
Aw, what?
I'm sorry. Not enough critics thought it was worth their time. Cameron, you had Wait Until Dark.
Bet you 95.
And then you did Leprechaun in Space.
Number 4, baby.
14%. You had 95 and 14. You went over, my man. I'm so sorry.
That's so bad.
Close.
Drew, you did Cabin in the Woods, which scored a 92%. Then you did Space Chimps 2.
Space
Zartog
Chimps
Strikes
2,
Back.
baby.
0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Ew.
You scored a 92%. That's a
Nice.
pretty good movie right there.
Go work, Drew.
Nice work,
Thanks,
Drew.
guys. Thanks,
You
guys.
just scored a 92%.
I should have gone with Space Chimps. I knew I should have gone with my gut.
Not really a horror movie, but we were totally. I mean, it sounds horrifying. Zartog Strikes Back. That sounds like a movie I'd be horrified if my kids got their hands on, because they'd be like, "Let's watch this," and I'd be like, "Let's watch anything else. Let's watch Shutter Island."
That'll walk in at the worst possible moment. What is this writing? Like two chips kissing. What is this writing? Oh my gosh. Dude, he literally walked in during the proposal at the one part where he's like grabbing her butt and she's like, if you touch my butt one more time, I'll cut off your nuts while you're sleeping. And Dad's like, she'll cut off his nuts what now? And I was like, of course you walk in right now. Oh my gosh.
Well, that's not as bad as it when they run into each other naked. That would have been worse.
Yeah, that would have been awkward.
Oh my gosh, yeah, if he would have walked in, that would have been super awkward.
This is very awkward thinking about our parents listening to this podcast. Okay, so the next segment is over and under acting. So we're gonna do 5 movie quotes.
Okay, is it going to be between me and
Yeah,
Drew
Ty,
or
I have
what?
an idea. How about I have to say a second quote from the movie, then I can say the title.
I don't care. Yeah, that works.
You're going to destroy it either way.
Okay, everybody ready? I'm gonna do my best impression or my worst impression.
Okay, Drew, just FYI, you're just going to have to guess what movie it's from.
Oh, shoot.
I'm usually pretty spot on.
All right, settle down.
They may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom.
Oh, Braveheart.
I couldn't think of a second quote, dang it. I knew it, though.
Uh-huh, sure you did.
Okay, you want me to play for real, Cameron? I'll play for real.
I was totally going to guess that one.
In your little handicap.
Okay, see, now I was trying to think of something. I couldn't think of anything. I just kept seeing him smashing that guy's face in with the big mallet thing or whatever that thing is called with the ball on it. Whoosh.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
If you let my daughter go now, that'll be the end of it. I will not look
Take
for
it.
you. I will not pursue
One.
you. But if you don't, I will
First
look
one.
for you. I will find you, and I will kill you.
That was pretty spot on.
Dang it. I can't think of any second quotes. This is too hard. I might have to just play it.
Okay, just play regular. I already got a 2-0 lead.
Oh, now you're okay with me playing. Oh,
But he's
okay.
going to fetch and come back. Yeah, gotta give me a handicap.
This is interesting because there's like a. Well, Cameron might not know this one, but here we go. I drink your milkshake.
Something blood. Oh, gosh dang it.
No idea.
I drink your milkshake.
I know. Fetch. It's even got the guy from Prisoners.
Oh, this is embarrassing, Jordan.
Something, blood.
First blood.
No, not that. I can look it up.
Look it up. No, don't look it
Cheating?
up. Yeah,
What
don't
the
look it up.
fuck?
Just look up the movie quote.
Let me just cheat real quick.
There will be blood. There you go.
You had to look it up.
Jordan, 0
And we
points.
are
I did-
professional
Jordan
movie
with no
podcast
handicap.
reviewers.
Still 0.
I didn't search the quote. I just remembered. I knew the movie. I just looked up because somebody else did a podcast about that. Okay, all right. Somebody else did a podcast about that, so I just looked up the name of the movie that they did.
Uh-huh, sure.
Here's an old one. Get your stinking paws off me, you. 38.
Is that,
Darn you
Planet
all
of the
the
Apes,
heck. Planet of the Apes.
didn't I say it before him?
Wait, did you say it?
Wait, what did you say?
I said Planet of the Apes.
I never heard you say that. Did you say Planet of the Apes?
I didn't hear that one either.
Yeah, I said, isn't that Planet of the Apes?
Oh, I heard him say something. I didn't know he said the title, though.
That's so funny. Yeah, I didn't know what you said, Cameron.
Dang it.
Well, the point goes to Jordan to make this game more interesting.
No, it's okay. Cameron got it.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I don't even. I'm not sure if I said it. I think I did. I don't remember.
How many have I done?
The government's been implanting memories in my mind for a while, so it's hard to perceive what is real, what isn't. I've been drinking too much of that water. God. Ibuprofen's a scam. I'm telling you. It's the government's way of controlling our brains.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Jordan. So it's a 2-way tie. Here we go. Ready?
How is it a 2-way tie? I'm 2-1.
Yeah, he has 2. I
Look
won.
up the other one. Okay. What?
It was Beauty that killed the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast? Oh, my internet.
It was Beauty that killed the Beast from Beauty and the Beast. No, that is incorrect.
Swing and a miss. We'll try it. We'll get you
It
later.
was Beauty that killed the Beast. Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, it was King Kong.
Wow. Hey, maybe I'll play this again when I watch 700 movies too. I'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're kind of nerds. Not really kind of. We're nerds.
Yeah, it's okay. Movies are dope, so.
What was Beauty that killed? Was that Jack Black that says that? Or who says that?
Yeah.
Wait, I have Cameron 3, Jordan 2. Did we already play 5 points?
How the fetch did I get 3?
Dude, you have like 4.
I think you got the first 2. Yeah, I think Cameron has 4. Jordan has 2.
I don't know.
Well,
Whatever.
I have 1. Cameron, you go.
I could keep going. I mean, it's up to you guys. I think Cameron, you won.
I feel so accomplished right now.
So proud of you, Cameron.
This is the highest achievement I've ever received. Winning phone games.
So
Yeah,
proud of you.
Cameron, I don't think you've beaten Jordan before. Nice work, dude. You beat Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan.
Oh, whatever. I gave those first 2. I was trying to think of other quotes. I could have said them. Oh, here we go.
Excuse.
Excuse.
And then
Oh,
wait.
here-
And then when
okay.
you had no handicap, you had to look it up to get the answer. Oh, and then also I said Planet of the Apes before you. Uh-huh.
In your mind.
Chip. Yeah, I had to give you all the handicaps as well, Jordan. Make it even, huh? Still.
I'm looking through this list of good quotes. One of them says, "Good morning, Vietnam," from the movie Good Morning, Vietnam. I don't think that's so funny. Okay, guess what movie quote this is from? Good Morning, Vietnam. Oh, it's from that movie starring Robin Williams. What was it called? Good Morning, Vietnam? That's right.
Nailed it. That's something on like a game show that someone would miss and then just be infamous forever.
We end our podcast by saying things that we have watched recently and things that we were looking forward to seeing. Let's start with you, Jordan.
I saw a very special movie this last week. Very, very special.
Do you want
So
us to ask you about it?
So special, in fact. I shared it with my wonderful roommate and his girlfriend, and they sat through it with me. I watched The Cube 2 Hypercube again.
Oh, I'd hate to be your roommate right now.
And I was surprised that I loved it even more the third time that I've seen it.
Jordan's brainwashing himself until he loves it.
And it gets better every time. Like the villain in it. Are you kidding me? It just reminds me of an amazing episode of Rick and Morty. It's so good. The humor lands perfectly. The music's amazing. It's a masterpiece.
Wait, real quick. Which Cube movie is this?
Cube 2 Hypercube.
Is the movie about cubes?
I read the Rotten Tomatoes. I even took a picture of it because it's hilarious. They nailed it. Check out what this person says. If I can find it. Okay,
What did they give it? What was the Rotten Tomato?
45%.
35% of audiences. Critics even thought there was more to this than the average moviegoer, dude.
Yeah, critics actually liked it better.
That makes no sense. This movie's dumb.
I love, this is my favorite quote though. One of the people that gave it a rotten score said, "Not exciting enough to make me love this, but interesting enough to make me keep watching." And then another one says, "Compelling yet ultimately disappointing." Really good quotes from Rotten Tomatoes. I
like this one. It says, all of the original's hokey set design, none of its subtle existentialism. That's so true. That's why I don't mind the first one. But again, it's like, this is like some cheap college film, you know? It's
No,
like
you said you liked the second one better, is what I remember you telling me.
I remember saying I don't like any cube. Cube nothing.
No, because you sent me quotes from the second one.
I hate all of them.
Oh, I mean, it's so laughable. It's so bad that it's good, I guess you could say.
Exactly.
But
That's what I'm saying. It's so bad, it's good.
But it's not even bad enough to be good, though. It's like
It is. It's horrendous. It's hilarious. Oh my gosh.
it's like campy meets, I don't know, something else that I hate.
Anyways, we're not talking about Cube 2. Jordan, any other things that you watched recently besides freaking idolizing that movie?
Oh, well, I took a lot of time thinking about that film, and then after after I had a
Rethought my life 3 times, wrote an essay about it, and then moved on.
I think there was one other one, but I can't think of it. It can come back to me.
Anything you're looking forward to?
Maybe rewatching it. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh my gosh. Jordan's life revolves around the fetching cube.
I've got it on VHS. Did I tell you I bought it on VHS?
Oh my
so
gosh.
good.
So you can painstakingly rewind the tape and wait for it to be done rewinding and watch it again?
Because it just has that
Gosh.
nostalgia, like, really crappy look, so it just adding to that. It's so good.
Just makes me feel like I want to be sick. I just think of like someone in an insane asylum watching cartoons. They'd probably just put on the Cube afterwards.
You know what the best part about that is when I watched it with these people, they were trying to make sense of it. I'm like, this is amazing, because hearing them trying to make sense of it, it's just like, this movie does not
Well,
make
no,
sense.
the nihilistic extensionalism, I like it. I just, yeah, whatever. It's like watching any other film, right? Like Saw. Oh, I'm going to kidnap you and torture you to death because you need to learn a lesson. Like, what? What are you talking about?
I love Saw so much.
Cameron, how about you, man?
Sadly, since I've been so busy recently, I only watched like a couple things.
That is really sad, Cameron. They're like starving kids in Japan, but the fact that you have not seen as many movies as you'd like to.
I like how you choose Japan. How's there epic starving children in Japan?
Dude, there's starving kids everywhere, man. Have you looked at a map
Yeah.
or seen the news, man? There are kids starving everywhere.
Did you just say looked at a map, Ty? Is that how you figure out how many starving kids there are? You're like looking at a map.
As you can see right here, there's starving children all over this city.
You just read the name of a country, and then you say, oh, I bet that place has starving children.
Anywhere in Africa? Whoa, low blow. Anyway, before I was derailed.
Dude, we're really insensitive, but I don't care. I like it.
I just recently watched the Time Traveler's Wife. It was interesting. It's definitely must watch with a woman. I watched it with mom. That was interesting. It hangs heavily on the romance. Just like absolutely love the film. I mean, there are some interesting things.
How about a naked man appearing in the woods to talk to a little girl? How about that, huh?
Dude, I know. I love it how if that movie was made 10 years later, there would have been like, what the fuck is this? I was really uncomfortable how many butt scenes. These are a lot of unnecessary. I figured after the first time he was naked that the rest he'll be naked, but you know, whatever. You can show me his butt as many times as you feel fit. I know, it sounds really weird.
You can show me your butt as many times as you see fit.
I started showing our parents Parks and Rec, which very mixed responses. Mom pretty much will do anything not having to watch it. Dad is eating it up. Dad loves Ron, and he just loves how much they make fun of the government.
Oh, really? That's funny. I thought Mom would like it and Dad would hate it. That's so funny.
Exactly, and Mom's kind of like, ah. And then I started rewatching Limitless, the TV show, which me and Drew also watched together, which is a fantastic TV show. Should have got re-upped for a second season. Even features, gives a shout out to Bradley Cooper. He's in the TV series, but just a really solid, just enjoyable, slight comedy. It reminds me a lot of White Collar, if you've seen that.
It also is like Psych, except it's not funny.
It's just kind of a fun TV show. It's just fun to watch.
It is fun. I like the whole brain aspect. Actually, when I saw Limitless, I was like, they need to do a TV show. I just feel bad because I was like, oh, they made it like Psych. He works with detectives. I don't know. I'm like, you could have gone any other route, but they went detective TV show, that's all. Because like Psych, he already does that. He's smart, and he uses more than 100% of his brain, or whatever he uses. It's enough to detect anything.
Also a myth, anyway. There's the using 10% of your brain is a myth.
Yeah, because Cameron, I know for a fact you don't use more than 2% of your brain, Cameron.
I use about 1.6
On a good day.
on a good day. I'm just looking forward to, I need to fetching finish Game of Thrones, and then also I want to watch Chernobyl.
Yes, watch Chernobyl, Cameron.
I need to finish the last season though, even though everyone's telling me it's going to suck and I'm going to hate my life and I'm probably going to take it off my 10 out of 10 list. But the deed must be done.
Yeah, I never really watched that. I've been watching Space Force on Netflix. It's pretty funny. Steve Carell is great.
Interesting.
It's good, but the episodes aren't neatly packaged in a bow. I feel like each time, sometimes the episode just ends, credits rolls, but I feel like I've missed the character arc entirely. I figure maybe Netflix just knows you're going to binge watch it, so they're like, just get through the arc of the season, right?
Got you in the palm of their hand, Ty.
Yeah, exactly. Like the old shows, they would structure each episode and they make sure that there's an arc for each episode and then there's an overall arc for the whole season and series. It's still pretty funny. It's a funny satire. It's a lot like Burn After Reading meets The Office.
In space.
It's kind of like Parks and Rec too. I also been watching New Girl, which is fun, pretty funny. Zoe Deschanel and all the other people in it.
I tried to start that and I couldn't get into it.
It's delightful, but it's not always laugh out loud, which sometimes can be frustrating given that some of the episodes were done with great care. Some of them, I mean, were so funny, gut-splittingly laughter, and I'm like, whoever wrote this was the comedian. The rest of the episodes were written by, I don't know, somebody else, and you can tell.
Not a comedian.
What do you expect with a TV show that the first season has 24 episodes? Obviously, it was a hit.
Sheesh.
They knew they had a hit on their hands, so they just pumped them out, and I think it was kind of a quantity over quality thing. This is one of those TV shows where after you're done watching, go find those 10 favorite episodes and recommend it to a friend, and, oh, you'll love this show. No, watch these 10 episodes because it's really good writing, and it's very funny premise.
Like South Park and Family Guy.
I'm looking forward to watching Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure
I'm actually excited to watch it, Ty.
because that got a better rating than Shutter Island. That'll be our movie for next week. Drew.
I just watched 1917. That was a good one. I really liked that movie.
It was fun.
Following that, like a day or two later, I watched Fury with Brad Pitt. Also, I really enjoyed that one.
You also watched Uncut Gems?
Not a fan. I just don't know if I like those movies. Like, it just kind of shows that your life is going to suck if you do dumb things. I understand that, but I just feel like there's nothing to it. It seems useless, like a waste of my time.
Yeah, no. Don't you like being stressed out of your mind for 2 hours? Like, that's literally what the movie is. It's like, do you want a stress migraine for 2 hours? Choke on that pill.
Have you guys seen Parasite?
Love it.
Love Parasite.
It was kind of similar. I was just like on edge, like waiting for something bad to happen the entire movie. And then I just all over the place. I was like, okay.
Yeah, we actually reviewed it on this podcast, Drew. Yeah, we like that movie here.
Oh, did you? Okay, sweet.
Yep. So you'll never be back on the pod ever again. So
Okay,
but
that's
thanks
fine.
thanks for playing, Drew.
No
and
worries.
let's play you off. No. Dude, I'm kidding, man. No, seriously, my wife watched it with me and she goes, something bad's gonna happen, and she had to look away. And it was at the moment where everyone's celebrating and all happy. She's like, oh, this is all gonna end so badly. She just knew it. And then when the old maid shows up, she's like, what's gonna happen? She just knew. She wanted to look away, but she just couldn't. I understand that feeling all too well.
And that's the reason Asian people don't celebrate birthdays, because that kid had 2 of the worst birthdays of all time. Seeing a serial killer coming out of his basement, and then that.
Any movies you're looking forward to, Drew?
I don't know. I haven't really, since all the movie theaters are closed and whatever it is, I just can't. I want to see the new James Bond. I'm a big fan of James Bond. I got a thing for that kind of stuff, so excited for that one. I'm going to watch Last Airbender as well.
The TV show or the movie?
TV show, not the movie. Sorry, not the movie. Movie's garbage.
Okay, I was about to say, our friendship almost just ended right there.
TV show, definitely the TV show. Just since it's back on Netflix. Excited for that.
Ooh, speaking of things that I'm excited about, though, real quick, I want to have a shout out to Tenet. I know I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, but Christopher Nolan's coming out with another film. It said it's to be released in theaters, widespread, like in July. So I just hope they figure out this social distancing at theaters and they play that movie, because that is a movie I am going to go see, hands down, with my expectations so high. I just hope I'm not let down. But I even bought the movie poster for it, man. I'm so excited.
That would suck if you hated it, then you just like burn the poster.
Well, it's good, because then I can burn it and make a whole thing out of it.
Ty, I'm going to send you a Shutter Island movie poster so you can burn it along with your Tenet.
No, I'll keep the Shutter Island and use it as toilet paper. Oh,
I was
snap.
literally about to say, you can have it in your bathroom.
Oh,
Matt.
Ty, I remembered what else I watched. I started Solar Opposites with my roommate. It's that show on Hulu. It's the same. It's not Dan Harmon, but the other guy on Rick and Morty. He created it.
Justin Roiland?
Yeah, Justin Roiland. I don't like him as much as Dan Harmon, but it's actually a fun show. It's not great. I mean, well, I don't know. I have conflicting thoughts about it.
Oh, interesting.
That made a lot of sense.
There's moments I'm like, this is pretty good, and other moments I'm like, why am I still watching this? And why did I buy it? It's on Hulu for free, and I bought it. I'm weird. I don't know.
You want to know a good viewing experience? Watch Midnight Run or Midnight Express. What's it called? Midnight Express or something like that?
Wait, Midnight Run? Are you talking about with...
No, that psychedelic cartoon with the
Oh,
podcasting voice.
boo, blech.
Midnight Gospel, that's the one. Watch Midnight Gospel. Watch the pilot episode on Netflix. It's so fun. It's just like a psychedelic trip, and you just hear 2 people podcasting about the use of drugs and stuff. It's really funny. While there's a zombie.
Robert De Niro, that was Midnight Run.
Oh, yeah. No. That movie, I'm sure, is great. Haven't seen it. I just saw the Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure trailer 3 came out yesterday, and that's why I thought Bill and Ted would be a great movie to review, because I watched a YouTube comment and it said, this looks dumb. It's perfect. Like, that's literally what Bill and Ted is. This is a third movie coming out years later, and it's Keanu Reeves. It's just so funny that they're back.
Well, it sounds like, though, it's their daughters that are going to be doing the adventuring, and they're just kind of there, is what I
don't care. These movies are just great. Just watch Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure for next week.
You know whose daughter is, right? It's that girl from Mayhem and Guns Akimbo and Babysitter.
That's Keanu Reeves' daughter?
It's either, I think it might be the other guy's daughter.
Oh, yeah. It's sad that we don't know the other actor in Bill and Ted. Like, there's two actors.
Keanu Reeves and that guy.
And that guy.
Alex Winter. That's his name. Yeah, I couldn't think of his name. I'm like, yeah, there's somebody there.
Yeah, it'll be a Keanu-sance.
Yeah, Cameron, if you've never seen Bill and Ted's, you're in for a treat, dude. The first one's so great.
I'm excited to watch it.
All right, you guys. Well, take care. Thanks for all listening for Future of Hidden Movie Gems podcast. Jordan, tell them where they can leave an email.
Spam, email us.
futuremovies@gmail.com.
And then don't forget us to leave.
That's some English.
Don't forget to leave us a 5-star review and tell all your friends about us because we're desperate for subscribers.
I quit my job to do this.
I'm in a cardboard box.
So I'm living in a basement with a cardboard fort. I left my family fully committed. I'm all in.
Yeah, subscribe so I can buy myself a nice recording studio. No, we just love reviewing movies. And if you guys take issue with the way we review movies, tough luck because
Stop listening.
yeah, we're gonna keep doing it. We just love doing this.
Loses half of our viewers. Half of our 4, so it drops down to 2.
Drew, Jordan, Cameron, it was great having you guys on. Drew, it was great meeting you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks for your powerful insights. You're a fun guest to have on.
I try.
You guys take care. Future of Hidden Movie Gems signing off. Peace.
Peace.
Bye.